Patron, and today we are going to be folding paper. Also known as origami. Now, I don't know if any of you know what origami is. Well, that's what I just said. It's folding paper. We have some paper here. We're actually only going to need 2 pieces. I am going to be showing you all the origami crane, classic origami, and I'm going to be showing you 2 versions of it. Now, I don't know how many versions of the origami crane there are, but these are the 2 that I know. These are the 2 that I've been doing for, I don't know, ever since I was a wee little robot boy. So, let's get into it. Which paper should we use first? Actually, let's see if these, when you rub them together, is that anything? Little paper waves, wiggles. Anyway, so, let's start with the red. The red speaks to me. Now, this isn't a tutorial, but feel free to get a piece of paper and try along with me. There's no harm in that. I will not stop you. I won't even attempt to stop you. Matter of fact, I won't even know whether or not you're doing it. So, it's all up to you. Now, I am going to need a square piece of paper. So, I am going to fold this paper like so to create the square that I need. Now, this is probably not going to be perfect, but whatever is. Alright, now I'm going to get rid of this bottom little flappy piece here because we don't need it. They actually have special origami paper that I do not currently have. So this is why I'm just going to use this colored paper that I have here. And it's not quite construction paper, it's not that thick, but it's also a harder stock than, let's say, regular printer paper. Alright. Figured I'd keep the folding stuff in as well because that might be, I don't know, might make some interesting sounds. Not the folding, the tearing. Well, not the folding too. The folding is the whole video, so, I mean, there's that. Not quite sure when exactly I learned how to make these, but I don't know if this is a regular crane. If anybody knows anything about origami, then feel free. I don't know that much. Feel free to correct me. But the one I'm going to do, you cannot flap its wings. That's the first model. And I like the way that one looks a little bit better. But it's just pretty. You can't really do anything with it other than look at it and think that it looks pretty. But the second version that I'm going to show you, you can actually pull the tail, spoiler alert, and the wings will flap. So, let's tear this piece off. See if I can get it started here. I need to, oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, uh-oh. No. We're going over. Okay. You know what? Let me crease this a little more deeply. You could just use scissors, but I typically don't because I don't always have scissors handy whenever I feel like making a crane. Back when I would go to restaurants, when restaurants were open, well, I mean they're open now, back when I was going to restaurants, I should say, I would just sit there and whatever paper was available, I would make a crane. Okay, let's try this again. See if we can. Okay, we made it. Here we go. Slowly, patience, because you don't want to sabotage the tear that you're doing. Uh-oh. No, we're still at it. We're still in it, folks. A little bit more. Almost there. Oh. Now, if you want to, you could save this piece of paper, fold it into tiny squares, and make tiny cranes. I've done that before. Let's get this out the way. Okay. And I'm just going to go through the process. Like I said, this isn't a tutorial, but feel free to try and follow along, or you can go online and look up origami tutorials, origami crane tutorial, something like that. I'm just going to go through my process, but I don't remember when I learned this, but it was when I was a wee little robot boy. I remember making it as early as, I don't know, I was a child. In robot years, equivalent to you humans, it would be maybe 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there is when I learned to make one. And I just kept making them because I thought they were cool. But now, I don't make them as often anymore. Why? I don't really know why. There's no real reason. I just don't make them as much anymore. I should. At one point I was really trying to expand my origami palette and learn to make a bunch of things, and that kind of fell by the wayside. I don't know how to make a bunch of things, but I think I have an origami book, or at least I used to. Should get back into it. Learn to make all sorts of animals. Lions? What's a lion? Lions and tigers and bears. Somehow trying to combine tiger with lion. Now, this move that I'm about to do, if anybody out there knows how to make a crane, you might see this move and say, why aren't you doing it the other way? Well, usually when I do it the other way, I am going to be making the flappy wing version. And this way, I don't know, I just learned this way, so it might be a unnecessary harder move, but I don't know, I just when I'm making this version, I make it this way, you know? Anyway, how's everybody doing? Alright, I hope. We're very far to this video, so I don't know if many people are gonna make it. But I think I'm going to play, what is it, Man of Medan? Man of Medan? I don't know. It's on Game Pass now, so I figured maybe I'll check it out. And it's more of a, it's not an action-packed game from what I can tell. It's more of a, you push a button every now and then. So it might be pretty calm for ASMR minus the scary stuff. We'll see. I think I'm going to play it, at least one. See if you guys like it. If anybody likes it, then we can finish it off for this month. But if not, that's cool too. If I enjoy it, maybe I'll keep playing. If nothing comes up, if more Among Us doesn't get in the way. That game is fun. And also can be very frustrating if people don't want to play. I shouldn't say very frustrating, because it's not that frustrating to me, but just mildly annoying when people don't want to play the right way and they just immediately say, I'm the imposter, vote me. I'm like, well, dude, how is that even fun? But hey, fun is subjective, no? Like a lot of things in life. Like your favorite album. It's probably not somebody else's favorite album, but it's a great album to you. And that's really all that matters, right? That is really, truly all that matters. Okay. Good enough. I think this is going to turn into a wing or a beak or something anyway. I don't know. Alright. Here we are. If you are following along, does your piece of paper look like this? Even though I gave you absolutely no instruction? If it does, wow. Good for you. If it doesn't, well, that's fine too, because I said this was more of a watch than a follow video, you know? Boom. Get these folds folding. Keep folding, 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 folding. Alright. Now switch to this other side, and we are almost complete, believe it or not. I don't know if you can start to see the bird resemblance and all, or if you can kind of predict where this is going. If not, that's fine. But we are just about at the end here for this version. Which one do I want to make the beak? I like to make the weaker point the beak. So I'm going to choose this side. And now, some people leave it like this. As you can see, it is a bird-like creature. But I like to kind of pull the wings all the way out to pop out the center. Doop, a little bit. There we go. See, like that. And there you have it. An origami bird. Look at that. Check that out. And it stands up. Alright. That one is complete. You can sit right there. Oh. Is it gonna sit? You sit right there and observe as we make your friend. Now, we're going to do the same process in terms of folding and tearing off the bottom piece. And make the other version. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Was that Chris Angel that would go, "Are you ready?" I think it was Chris Angel. Speaking of Chris Angel, did anybody see the David Blaine Ascension on YouTube? That guy is intense. Like camping. That was pretty cool. He said it was his most intense stunt to date, which kind of makes sense because you go up there and there's like no oxygen. So basically, if nobody knows what I'm talking about, have you ever seen the movie Up? Or some other reference that David Blaine made that I had no clue about, but I'm going to use Up because that is the reference that makes sense to me. So, the movie Up, getting closer here, getting it a little bit closer. I'm much closer to the microphone now. I am right up in the microphone. Can you hear the difference? Can you hear the difference? Anyway, I'm gonna back away in just a tad. Okay. So, Up. It's about the guy that ties a bunch of balloons to his house, and his house floats away. It's a Disney Pixar movie. Great movie. But if you get sad easily, it might make you cry. So, fair warning there. No spoilers. You know that his house floats. It's like what the poster of the movie is. So that's not a spoiler. But anyway. So basically David Blaine did that, but with himself only. So a bunch of balloons attached to David Blaine floats him 25,000 feet into the air. Now that is airplane flying height. Airplanes fly, 30,000 feet or something like that? That is ridiculous. And for most of the flight, he doesn't have any oxygen. So he has to do some breathing technique so that his body doesn't go into, I think the word is hypoxia. And the way he describes it is kind of like how you feel when you're drunk. I don't know. I think it's hypoxia. Somebody can fact check me. So yeah, but once he gets up to, after 20,000 feet, he does have some reserve oxygen up there if he needs it, and he does use it, but man, he's doing this weird breathing technique where he's like, trying not to breathe too intensely into the microphone, like just blow right into it, but it's kind of like hyperventilating, it seems. I think it's the same principle. So yeah, he does that. He gets up to 25,000 feet, and then guess what he does? He detaches from the balloons. Oh my goodness. So he detaches from the balloons. Oh, I forgot to tell you, he has a parachute, but he's not wearing it the whole time. Once he gets up to a certain height is when he puts the parachute on. So he puts the parachute on in the air, detaches at 25,000 feet, and then skydives back to the ground. Wild. That guy is something else. Now this probably sounds boring, me talking about it, or maybe that's just my voice doing it. You're welcome. But it was way more fascinating than I thought it would be. I don't know, maybe it's because I just like David Blaine though. Been into David Blaine since I was younger. Since I wasn't an adult robot boy. Adult robot boy. Wow. I am a nonsensical being. Can I be a being if I'm inanimate? No, right? Beings need to be organic? I don't know. Oh, sorry, was that too loud? Anyway. Yeah, man. I love David Blaine since David Blaine's Street Magic. And I've gone on YouTube and watched his stuff that he's put out, so that's how I know. But yeah, it was way more fascinating than I thought it would be. And MKBHD, I don't know if any of you are into tech and follow tech YouTube, but MKBHD is one of the bigger tech YouTubers out there. And I enjoy him quite a bit. MKBHD, that is. He hosted it, which was cool. It was just fascinating. David Blaine's always doing these stunts. If you don't know anything about David Blaine, just go to his YouTube channel. It's his name, David Blaine, Blaine. David is spelled how David sounds. And yeah, check it out. I don't know if the full thing is up. It might be. It was live streamed. So, we were watching it live, of course. Well, I did. And it was great. But if you go on David Blaine's YouTube channel, you'll just see his magic in general. I think there might be clips of his stunts on there. I think so. I don't even remember where I saw his stunts when I was watching them, but interesting dude. Right now, I'm coming and I'm going to do a different move than I did before, but it's gonna get me the same result. I'm talking about origami now. In terms of this is what I was talking about when people would be like, why are you doing it this way, or why not do it the other way, or vice versa. If you're an origami master, you might look at me and say, you're doing it wrong, or there's an easier way. And I would respond by saying, okay, but I'm stupid, so what are you gonna do about it? I don't know. I'm dumb. Have you seen the what was it, the impossible quiz? If you didn't think I was dumb before, well, that sure solidified it. Anyway, this method here is what I'm going to be doing. This way feels a little more difficult, more tedious than the other way. But the thing is, when I learned these different versions of this bird, this is how I learned it. Did somebody teach me? I think so. I didn't learn it that other way, so I didn't know that the technique or the fold carried over directly until I started just doing it by myself. I was like, oh, okay, I can do either or and get whichever result I want. But I just decided to just continue doing it the way that I was taught for each version of the bird. Bird. Have you heard about the bird? Everybody knows that the bird is the bird. Bird the bird. Alright. Well, speaking of bird is the word, reminds me of Family Guy. Does anybody know the YouTuber Azers? He does voice impressions. Usually over video game stuff. He also, he sings and raps and stuff. I heard that he is going to be Cleveland on Family Guy now. Shout out to him. Good for him. I think that's cool. My man's been grinding the YouTube impression scene for a minute now. He's on the come up. You know what? I'll link to these two people. All three, MKBHD, David Blaine, and Azers, in the comments. I don't know these people personally. I did not scour their YouTubes to see if they're good people. I mean, I've been following MKBHD and Azers for a while. Azers has some cussing in his videos, so if you don't like that, then, Oh, did you guys hear that? I think that's a plane. And I'm making a bird. Oh, maybe I should make Superman next. So I can do the whole, it's a bird, it's a plane. Anyway, boom. Flip it over like this. And you're about to see the point in the last video where I asked, in the last fold, where I asked if you got here, even though I wasn't giving any instruction. See, this right here. Remember this? And last time I folded these corners in. This time I'm not gonna do that. Because if you want the wings to flap, you don't do that. You don't do that. we're coming up on the end of this one as well. Boom. And we fold this way. Which side do I want to be the beak? The side it's a little sharper. The other side is going to fold. Uh-oh. Let's make this. And then I fold this one all the way in. Okay, now as you can see, this one also kind of looks like a bird, right? See that? But with this one, you fold it up at the front. See, it's a kind of at an angle there, sloping down. You do that, then you pull the tail kind of back, and it flaps the wings. See that? Yeah, that's it. This is the flappy winged bird, as you can see. Let me do it in kind of slow so you can see. See how it pulls the wings down? Alright. Here we have it. 2 birds in a pod. 2 peas in a pod. Okay. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you're still here, why not subscribe? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Anyway, or not. Either way.